When it comes to school, all I can really think about is all the great times that I had, the friends that I made, and how it was one of the many things to change me as a person overall. So, for today, I decided to reminisce on so many of the hundreds of stuff that I remember from kindergarten up to high school, and well, I've been meaning to just get this out eventually, but ever since some incident that happened recently in the news, but I'll just focusing on the good times. That's what really matters. What matters is just having it just safe as possible and just well being happy. That's all. Okay, from kindergarten to the third grade, somewhere in between, that I have moments that I can remember the most. Uh, some of the many great things all started for me was online. Yeah, one of the the learning stuff. It's an easier way to just understand basic stuff like ABCs, one, two, threes, blah blah blah. But there was this website called Starfall, and that was the perfect way to learn your ABCs because, well, I just can't really say all that much. It's just that awesome. Every time you just click on a letter and then you just go to slide to slide, and um, whenever you click on a certain thing related that's represented by the letter, it just does some crazy random thing. Like when you click on a tiger for T, it roars. When you click on a pepperoni pizza for P, it takes a bite and it keeps on just eating it. I like that kind of stuff. It was freaking awesome at the time. And of course, there was the basic books. And some of this stuff, of course, was featured in my Treasure Overflow montage of my second channel. But some of the best ones I remember is, yes, the Kissing Hand, the Napping House, the David books, like the kid, like this kid in a striped shirt that's always causing trouble, and how I became a pirate. I think those oh wait, there's an alligator under my bed. Yeah. Dog breath. We're all different people or something like that. Just so many banger ones at the time. Maps on the Move, yeah, because since I liked Ice Age so much around that time, and I just thought it was like the best book ever for me. Whoo boy, the movies. Watching movies in class has always just been a pleasure. I mean, some of it could just be movies, otherwise it could just be a little bit of a learning thing, but it's always awesome nevertheless. I do remember one time, uh, we were watching the Polar Express. We came in pajamas and we were just drinking hot chocolate and couldn't imagine a better other day to do that. And let's see. One of the classic Disney movies that I watched one time while eating lunch in class, yeah, Oliver and Company. What really got me with that movie was the song "Why Should I Worry." It is one of the it's one of the songs that really should never really go that hard, but it did because, well, Disney can't really do no wrong. Well, most of the time. But still. And I think there was one National Geographic one that featured around animals, of course. I think it kind of focused a little bit on the sea, but what I can remember is like there was some octopus attack, and then the globe was like, haha, sucker, get it, sucker? I've always tried to like remember where did that came from, but eventually I'll find it. Like, who knows? I remember this one day, Dr. Seuss Day, because when it came to the Dr. Seuss books, reading them growing up, I've always enjoyed the Cat in the Hats, but we'll just dive into that like sooner or something like that. Or maybe I'll just get out of the way too. Yes, I do both enjoy the original books, and yes, I did see the Mike Myers movie. Even though it's one of those bizarre things that make you go, "What the freak?" Did I just watch? I still just kind of really treasure it, mostly due to the recognizable faces. Because again, when it comes to movies, I'm always like to see like a new face, get to know them or something like that. But Dr. Seuss Day or Cat in the Hat Day or whatever it was. It was just dedicated to just the books themselves, seeing people dressed up as the cats. Cause I've always I've always liked the design of the cat's hats. It's like that's a hat that I do need. It just looks so freaking cool. Classic holidays of Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. For Halloween, one time I was dressed up like Tigger, and it was a coincidence because we were learning about stranger danger from this Winnie the Pooh VHS or DVD or whatever you want to call it. It was called Too Smart for Strangers, and it just, well, again, just teaches you how to be aware of strangers. And it's just kind of really interesting to see the characters go all out of character to be knowledgeable about what you should do. But it, I guess, like for educational purposes, it does help out a lot. It's like saying, like, take the most kid friendly thing and just teach them how it is to just experience the real world. Kind of like doing it before Sonic says from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog in a way. And as well for Thanksgiving, yes, of course, there's that typical thing where you just trace your hand to make a turkey, and it's like one of the more easier ways to draw a turkey, in my opinion. That's how it was for me. And for Christmas, making foam plastic gingerbread houses. That's always been so freaking good to me. Wow. Reminiscing. I just, it's just trapped in my head. I remember this one time where we were making our own alphabetical book, and I was the letter C, and it was a drawing of me at a computer because, again, I was just kind of like enjoying it back then. And someone had to like read it in front of the whole class, and that was a pleasure to work on. Remember these papers where it's kind of like fill in the picture or something like that. You have like something that you want to like draw on, and you have to describe it. I think Blitz told me that one time when he was a master at like creating these stories and everything like that. One of the more hilarious things I've ever seen happen in the cafeteria. Some kid was just walking carrying his lunch. He ate a jalapeno, and he instantly went ha ha ha. And I I don't know if I laughed so hard or just kept it in, thinking that it was just so goddamn funny. Me and my friends back then, of course, SpongeBob was like the biggest thing back. Way long ago. And I remember us like quoting stuff. Like I remember like we quoted stuff from episodes like, what was it? Wet Painters and uh, Pickles. Yeah. Survival of the Idiots. A little bit from the movie, if I remember. If I remember, it was just like so fun to do. Yeah. It's great that that both like we all had a little bit of a connection to do that. Now book fairs, whoo, geez, they were a big deal for me to always just like see some enjoyment. That was where I found the book of Spider-Man's worst enemies, worst as in cool and memorable. But it's still though, it was an awesome book. Now, Rudy Elementary was the start of things officially going much more better, in a way. Remember, like it was just yesterday. This was like around the time where I really officially considered just learning about how to do voices because around this time I was considering to just give up cartoons since they would just always get me into trouble. And well, if it wasn't for my mom like teaching me how to just change my voice up when we read in front of the class, it was I don't know where I would be by now. One of the few best things that happened at the school was when Ronald McDonald was making an appearance, and god dang, he was just like cracking us all up and giving us all these insightful things to say. But when I was like on my way out the door, I managed to like say hi to him. I was like, it's like one of the best things that ever happened to me. It's like meeting a celebrity for the first time. But the best thing that ever happened at Rudy Elementary was that every Wednesday through Friday, once school is over, I just go to the Adventure Club to just hang and just wait until either of my parents just came to just pick me and my sister up. We do all such things such as playing games, doing whatever the freak we want, just drawing, anything to just live up the hype. Watching movies, going to different places like the zoo, the pool, museums, or anything. God, if only I was like really young again to just like live that all over. Old elementary. Oh boy. Now here was when I was kind of like developing a little bit of a school persona. Kind of like just changing a little bit of my personality whenever at school because here this was where I just kind of developed into a little bit of being a ladies man because I've always enjoyed just cheering the girls up, making their day, talking with them, sitting in a circle to get to know each other. And when it was my turn to say what I was bringing, so to speak, because we had to say anything that's related to our names, that starts with the letter of our names. I chose a sombrero and I was just saying some Spanish stuff, and it did make all the girls laugh. Whenever I got on a computer for free time, I always would go to the Sonic Wiki to just learn about the characters or anything like that. But when it came to just actually having legit fun, like going to this animation studio called Kid Pix, I always have this picture of this little girl and I would draw chameleon eyes on her from Tough Puppy, and everyone would find that hilarious. And of course, there's the usual basic stuff like Zula Patrol and Magic School Bus showing in class. Uh, Boy, oh boy. I do remember this one place in school where I would just learn how to just get much more advanced in life or something like that. So my helper, if I think that was her job, we were having a party one time. It was like one of those parties where you like bring food to class and you just live it all out. I do remember, yes, we were playing get the party started from the movie Cats and Dogs 2. There was pizza, there was root beer. It was awesome. And there's this other time where having lunch, like she offered to get McDonald's, and it really did make my day. Now, when Christmas came around this time, woohoo! I do remember in class and in freaking the gym, or was that at? Oh no, that was at Rudy Elementary too. But still though, we were just singing karaoke songs. It was freaking epic. I'm positive that people might remember me doing this. One time at recess, I grabbed a stick and I drew a giant Sonic the Hedgehog in the dirt, and everyone was so impressed, and it made me feel like such a champ. And what also happened, like outside, was there was these giant inflatable water pool like stuff, and like we were basically having this water day or something, whatever it was. And like when the song Another One Bites the Dust was playing, I remember I was just dancing to just like impress the girls, and of course they did find it hilarious. And I remember quoting stuff from TV again because this was around a time where I couldn't really control myself. But I was quoting Friday, next Friday, and I remember like they would always request if I like quote stuff from Friday or Chowder. Like when it came to like next Friday, they would come up to me saying like, "Hey, sing y'all don't mess with the police." They were just acting all freaking. But yeah, it was cool. And when it came to Chowder, they would always have me sing the Rainbow Song because, well, it was from the Big Food episode. God, if only I learned how to use the camera back then. Oh yeah, yeah, wait, another thing that also happened, like one of those big parties again, where there's this giant freaking bus that's filled with games inside. It was like one of the other more coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Oh, and another thing at recess, one of my favorite games to play was Foursquare. Yeah, like who doesn't remember Foursquare? You just like bounce the ball at like whoever, and you just try to just always just like get them out. If you like throw the ball hard enough or anything like that, and then somebody else takes your place, and I think that's how it went. Art class and music class, they had some of the best qualities. Art class was just very calming because you either paint or draw or whatever it was while listening to music. One of my favorites was Sail Away by Enya that you might hear from, oh, I don't know, Shrek Forever After. And with music class, whoo, the OGs will remember and music. Musical instruments just coming to life, making their own music, and it was freaking holy as fudge for me. Rodeo Day. Ooh, wow. It was something else. So yippee yay 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 yippee yay yo. Pecos Bill from Disney. Uh, oh yes, I remember now. During lunch one time, while they were all at hot dogs, I settled on chili dogs, and I ended up liking them more than hot dogs themselves. And well, that's what all just got started for me because I was watching Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's when I first learned that well, chili dogs were Sonic's favorite food, and Sonic happened to be my favorite video game character, and that just gave me more of a reason to like him. And when it comes to pizza, they will always come in these triangular shaped boxes that you could just eat out of. It was cool. Oh yeah, another thing when it came for alts, yes, when I went to Skate City, where it's a roller skating place, I was like pulling up some moves. Everybody at school was just like there who wanted to be there, or if we, something like that, if I remember. But the next day, everybody was just freaking, wow, you got some moves, if I remember correctly. On to Salyard's Middle School. The second to last greatest thing to ever to ever like have an impact on me. Uh, One of my favorite classes was it was theater. Yeah, theater arts. And well, even though I did say it was related to the good moments, even though I just could have like done more for that class because there was this one time where there was like a talent show, but I was like way too just competent on just getting work done because here was where it was a turning point for me. This was where I decided to just become a better person and then just get better at well schoolwork because yeah, I just wanted to like be better, get the grades up, become a better person overall, not just for school, but in life in general. And that's the reason why like school has kind of like helped me a bit. There was a week known as some kind of random day where each day from Monday to Friday would be something special. Like we go in our pajamas, we dress up like superheroes, we dress up as our dream job or anything like that. It was one of the coolest and inventive things ever. That you, if you're attended Salyers around that time. It also did the same thing for Cy Ranch eventually, but God. Oh yeah, I remember the Bengal store. It was all like if you have as many of these Bengal dollars, so to speak, or whatever they were called, you would be able to like buy anything, like any like accessories or toys or anything like that. One of my personal favorites was this pencil sharpener in the shape of a nose. You stick a pencil in it and it would sharpen, and that was a little bit hilarious. If you were to see the library of any other school, I think that Salyards had like the biggest library ever to be. Of course, I did go with the basics like animals, and there was this one Simpsons one where it was like telling these tales of like how Bart Simpson is such a menace to society. There was this one time that they experienced Pokemon, and that was a treat to see. Let's see. Oh, but the book fair though, like that one. I remember like there was a poster for a regular show with the first season, and I recited all the lines that were said in like the promo for it. I legit went up to the picture and it was just like doing the voices, like remembering what I heard, and well, it did impress like somebody. And now the art class in this school, it really did push me further to add also character designer to go along with voice acting because there was these big sheets of papers like on these tables. And I was just drawing random characters here and there, and that's just been with me ever since. Oh, during PE, whenever like we go outside, playing games and everything, my favorite one was Gaga Ball on this tag game, and like you just try to just get anybody out as possible. If it hits you, you're out, and if you're the last one standing, you win. It was awesome. The coaches used to say that kind of like I was like the pro at it, and that did make me feel special. Oh yeah, and I do remember one time at lunch, if I remember correctly, because I do remember this way back in like either like first or second grade, third grade maybe. Uh, you ever got those freaking potatoes those potato like either fries that are like shaped in like smiley faces? And you remember that? Have you ever like had that before? God dang. I remember like one time I was like, oh yes, this reminds me from way back ago. Huh, how nice. Oh, and how can I forget? This is like also one of the more hectic places to like one of the more hectic schools to just keep up with the schedule wise in order to just like go to multiple different classes to just you have this map and just to see like where you're supposed to go. It had to took me like a long time to just memorize where I'm supposed to be at, but it was a little bit fun to just travel around, see anybody you know, say a quick hey, and then you're gonna need to go or you're gonna be tardy. And finally, it all goes down. Save the best for last. Cy Ranch High School. Where had the time? I remember like it was just yesterday. Just enjoying everything. Like everything was perfect. Everything. I mean, like there's might have been some like little problems here and there, but overall, I honestly thought that which was gonna be just standard high school, where it's just nothing but bullshit. But it just turns out that it's just more than that. People was getting like much more mature, and you just develop relationships and everything. And well, it was just always a special place for me. It did kind of like push me further to just become the man that I am right now, and always just want to like maintain. It's it did try it did help me to just get better. One of my best moments is whenever I took Spanish class. Even though I wasn't really kind of like good at the language, but still, it was such a delight for everyone, and I mean literally everyone, to have just like me. For economics class, we had to just make our own product to sell. Me and Jeff, we had this idea to just sell these our made up our own personal dog toys, and that was it was an interesting one. In addition to just getting my stuff together while just doing all I can at the school, I was given the Mustang of the month, and yet again, it was one of the many things that just made me feel proud of myself. When it came to stuff like homecoming and prom, one worked out and the other didn't. The one that didn't was Homecoming, where I was told about like how it was gonna go down. I was just getting dressed up, but I didn't really stay for long because I thought like a certain somebody was just gonna like be there for me as like like she was the one that just told me all about how it is. I thought she was gonna go, but I guess she was just only saying that for people who were interested, I guess. But when it came to prom, I mean, it was much more better than homecoming, to be honest. I was all suited up, looking sharp as a tack, and I went along with some friends, carpooling and everything. And well, I basically like took pictures of the many people that I was just cool with. I mean, of course, I'm pretty sure that I was like cool with like almost nearly everybody, but like whoever I could find, if I could just say that. And also, like this, we tried after we left. We went to like a freaking bar, but we didn't really stay for long. And we what we were hoping to see is Avengers Endgame, but we didn't really have time to do so. But then we went to a Denny's, I think, and made it on the way home. I remember this one time in an auditorium where these other kids from a different school, they were like doing some kind of play, or if they were part of like the theater arts, if I remember. But everything was just going a lot of interesting. But then out of nowhere, there was this freaking like explosion that was part of the play. It was like whoo, 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 whoo. Everybody was just so wowed, especially me, because I was like, dang, what the freak did that came out of? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, yeah. Also, another thing in the auditorium, especially with theater arts. We were just playing flashlight tag, and I was like, "Oh man, this is the most fun thing I've ever done." And let's see, we were also like practicing our quote unquote musicals. Like for me, me and my friend Derek, we decided to go with the Gaston song from Beauty and the Beast. I was LeFou, and well, like we didn't dress up or anything. We just had to like just sing whatever it is. So, but like the teacher was impressed that I was able to just memorize and like do the voice or anything like that. It was all right. Health class. This was where I was first watching the documentary of Super Size Me, and well, it was one of the more cooler things that I've ever seen in school. It was also important for me since I do remember way long ago when I was attending like Salyards or Alts or whatever it was. When it came to Fridays, I always enjoyed like having McDonald's, but then seeing this, seeing Morgan just taking like eating nothing but McDonald's for like what, like a month or what or something. Because yes, it's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. I know I've seen it like 3 times, but god dang, just a test to see like how it will go. I mean, like it sounds awesome at first, but then again, it's just not really something you would want to try to do. But R.I.P. for him though. He will be missed. Now, audio video production class. Well, we did start out just doing the basic stuff like editing and all that junk on the computer. I do like we were taking like clips from movies and just making it into our own movie, like Toy Story, for example. Uh, it got better when I took The Incredibles, but it was a work in progress. It did kind of like teach me to just take in videos. I eventually did get better at it when I was making my own videos, and it was a good payoff. But eventually, we didn't really kind of do all that much. It was basically just a free day for us anytime there. Because one of the coolest, most awesome things you would ever want is like somebody bringing their Nintendo Nintendo like Wii U, if I'm saying that right. Wii U. Like we were just playing like Smash Bros. Wii U, and it was just well, what else? Awesome. I remember when like we were just playing so hard that like we just exploded. We just shouting our guts out, screaming our heads off in excitement, going wild and crazy. God dang! Why didn't I get that on freaking video as well? Like yeah, I do have some older videos of some Smash Bros. Playthrough in class, and well, could have done more, but it was worth it. And there you have it. Hope you found these stories to be really, really interesting and hilarious and wholesome because it, whenever I like go to sleep and I have dreams of still being in school, it just still speaks out for me. Hopefully, if I ever meet some of my old friends, that I could just pay them a visit, maybe just like say how much like we've grown, try to reconnect because again, when you just try to like talk with somebody, you don't know if they're like either on a job or starting a family because everybody nowadays just like getting married just real early. And that's good on for them, but jeez. I mean, like, I guess if you build up a good relationship enough, then you have it work out. But, anyways, I'll be seeing you in the next refresher step. Thank you, and until next time.